Recording in progress.
Good morning. Happy Saturday. So glad to be back with you guys. Thrivepalooza was absolutely amazing. I think for me, one of the biggest things was the panels that they had that spoke with Thrivers. There was only 2 panels and they were so impactful because not only did they talk about like their success and the things that you need to do to be successful, but they also discussed the hardships that they encountered. So I just thought that that was huge because we often see people at the top and we're like, oh, I can't do that. I have all these difficulties. It's taking me forever. I don't think that's possible for me, yada, yada, yada. I don't know what's on my desktop, but it's driving me nuts. And we don't see the difficulties that a lot of people actually had to endure to get to the place where they're at. We just see the end result. We don't see the journey to get there. And I just thought it was really commendable of them to open up and share those difficulties that they went through so that we can see that just because we're not there yet doesn't mean we will never be, and that we're not unique to having challenges within our business, that everybody goes through those sort of things. So I thought that was huge. But the social media training, one of my girls was sitting next to me and she's like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I was like, it's almost like the stuff I've been saying this entire time. It's funny because it's like your children where you tell them something and they don't listen, but someone else that's not in your household says the exact same thing to them. And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah. And you're like, really? Like, I've been saying this the whole time. So a lot of the information that I get, I have absorbed some of it through my trial and error, obviously, because I'm not going to speak on things that I haven't done myself. But also I took a lot of stuff from Brock. I've been following him for about 2 years now, and he knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to do a recap of what he went through because I thought that was huge. And he talked about some trends that are happening on Instagram going into 2022 and growth strategies. And I want to share those with you because they were really impactful to me and made me realize that I'm on the right path. So the first thing that he said, and I thought this was huge because his mom, funny enough, was a Beachbody coach for a long period of time. And she has like the most workout videos for any individual out there, basically. But people would come to him and say like, well, your mom talks about all these different things. Like, why can she do that? And he gave the analogy of a tree with branches. You have to build the trunk of your tree first. So we often want to talk about like all the things in our life, and that's natural. Like, we want to discuss all the things that encompass our life instead of narrowing ourselves down into a box because it feels a little restricting. It feels like, what if I miss out on people? You just feel like you're limited, but actually that's helping to build the trunk of your tree. Because if you're trying to do all these branches, what you're going to get is just a small little bush. You're not going to get this big, huge tree that eventually can branch out and talk about different things. So that's why it's really important for you to focus on a niche first, so that you have that solid foundation of your trunk and not just a little tiny bush that isn't going anywhere, that isn't sprouting up and outward. It's just going whoop, and it's there. So I thought that was a huge analogy that he gave. It was really a good way to kind of describe it. So the first thing that he says is you have to nail down your niche. You have to, because with there being so many different accounts on Instagram or in social media in general, I think of TikTok is the exact same way. Facebook's, I feel like, a totally different thing. I don't know. I'm like trying to focus a lot of my energy on Instagram and TikTok. So that's what I speak on a lot. I'm still obviously present on Facebook because I have 3,000 plus friends on there, and I haven't tapped into half of those people. So I do still show up on Facebook, but I show up differently than I do on like TikTok or Instagram. So the first thing he says is you have to nail down your niche. You have to understand what is the one specific topic that I'm going to talk about, because there are, again, so many people on Instagram that are just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that it sticks. They're grabbing a whole pot, just tossing it at the wall, hoping something sticks so that their social media grows. But what I've often said is when you're trying to speak to everybody, you're often speaking to no one at all, because people will feel like, oh, they're kind of all over the place. Oh, she doesn't really mean me. Using terms like, he did this reel the other day, and I was like, yes, thank you. Where he said, when you say things like you guys, or one of the ones that like irks me is when people are like, hey besties. I'm like, stop, just stop saying that. Please stop. So really, you want to be speaking like you're speaking to one person in a very specific group, because here's the thing. Like, let's say, for instance, I'm going to pull up my Instagram so I can, maybe I'll just share myself so you guys can see my Instagram. Make a host. Yes. I am now the host. I'm going to share my screen. Boop. Okay. So I actually edited my bio. So the first line right here where it says home gym queen, you don't want to put your name, because that first tagline is searchable. So if people are looking for home gym, whatever, and they actually just recently added the ability to add more characters. So I might even change it up a little bit more. But the second line should be, who is the person that you're speaking to, very specifically. So like for me, it's losing weight at home for the Christian mom. And then I kind of give my credibility with down 40 pounds and counting. And then I have my link tree, which has like my link to get supplements, to order samples, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so when someone is visiting your page, like let's say they watch your reel and they're like, ooh, I like this reel. It's funny. Let's see what else this person has. And then they go to your page and you say, and like, first of all, your bio just says like, you're a Tinder profile where it's like long walks on the beach and coffee and blah, blah, blah. Like you're just basically listing out a Tinder profile for people. They're like, I don't know why I should follow this person. Like maybe we could be friends, but yeah, what they're looking for when they're on Instagram is they're looking for, I've discussed this in the past, is like entertainment, knowledge, that sort of thing. So when they come to my page, like let's see, they see one of my reels where I'm showing my progress for weight loss. And then they come to my page and they're like, losing weight at home for the Christian mom. And they're a Christian mom too. They're like, ooh, I should follow her because I want to lose weight too, but I don't know how, or I'm struggling or whatever. And so these first 9 that they see are typically the only 9 that really matter. The first 9 pictures. And if there is nothing of value to them in those first 9, like you have one of them, you're showing your Thrive capsules. One of them is just a picture of you. One of them happens to be a reel you did, blah, blah, blah. Then they're like, and they just move on. But if they're coming to your page and they can see there is something that I can take away from one of these, at least first 9, then I think I'm going to follow this person. So for me, if I am a home gym queen and I'm talking about losing weight at home for the Christian mom, there better be something that shows that I'm losing weight. So I like to make sure I always have some sort of progress photo within the first 9. I should show that I'm a Christian in some way because I said I am. And then I'm a home gym queen. So like I show that, like this reel, for instance, deciding what gym equipment to use on vacation. It's not at home, but I was on vacation, so it makes sense. But there's a tools for weight loss for them, so they can scroll through. This is what I call a carousel, that they can read through things. I have 5 ways to be active as a busy mom, which makes sense because I talk about how this is for the Christian mom. And then, yeah, so there should be something. If you're saying what you say you are in your bio, those first 9 photos should reflect that. So how do we nail down a niche? I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible. How do I get back? Where do I go? There we go. And then I got to make myself the person again. Okay, I get it. Post. Okay. Okay. So how do we nail down who we're trying to speak to? Who do you post for specifically? Very specifically, not just moms. Is it moms that have kids in multiple sports? Is it moms that are recovering from narcissistic abuse? Is it moms that have toddlers, teenage mom, like whatever that is? Who specifically are you speaking to? Women over 30, women over 40, mixed family mom, like whatever your specific thing is, but try to get as narrow as possible. And then what is it that you post about? That's how you nail down your niche. So that's the first thing he talked about. And then he talked about 2022 growth strategies that he's seeing through what the CEO of Twitter has said, or Twitter, of Instagram has said, and just based on his own research and knowledge. The first one is share worthy content. So content that other people will share. So this can be quotes, this can be tips within a reel, this can be something funny, like stuff that somebody feels the urge to actually share with other people. The second is posting multiple times a day to the feed. And that doesn't mean you have to post like 9 million reels a day. You could do one reel and one quote, or you could do a carousel and a quote, or a carousel and a reel, that sort of thing. He thinks that he's seeing that multiple posts per day, because your posts reach a very small percentage of your following, that the more you post, the more people you'll reach. Favorite content. So this would be like trending things, stuff that maybe trending sounds, things that people actually like. And then creating intentional engagement. And we discussed this like with call to action. So don't forget to share this. Don't forget to save this. Don't forget to tag a friend that needs to hear this. Drop your favorite tip. Tell me how you feel about that. Blah, 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 blah. Anything that's going to create intentional engagement on your post. Then he said, optimize your profile and your content, which I just discussed. So making sure that your bio aligns with the first 9 within your feed. And there was something else he said too. Oh, yes. So the trend of reels right now. And I actually talked about this in one of my reels that I did on TikTok. I have exclusively talked. I have never done lip syncing. I have never done dancing or anything like that. All I've done is discuss topics. And I have 27,000 followers on there. So I feel like, yes, that's a successful strategy. And I feel like Reels is always a little bit behind TikTok. Like TikTok started out with all these people just dancing and trying to get themselves out of boredom when we were in quarantine, like hashtag 2020. But what it's kind of evolved to is this like square where you can share information, you can help other people out, you can talk about your experiences to a very specific group. And that is exactly the trend that's going on with Reels. So at first it was a lot of dancing, lip syncing, that sort of thing. And now he says there's going to be a trend of a lot more original content. So what is original content? That is you talking. So I know it's really scary, but the best way to do that, and this is actually one of the ways that I started doing live video on Facebook when I started doing lives, when I first started with Lavelle, and I was scared. SHIT lists. I was so scared. I took an ingredient from the back of the capsules and I was like, okay, vitamin A. I'm going to talk about vitamin A today. I would research vitamin A and then I would just talk about it. Like, what are the benefits of vitamin A? How do you spot a deficiency? And that, yada, yada, yada. Then the next day I would take another one and do it. So just providing information to people. So the best way that you can do that is making sure you have a specific thing that you're talking about and then just talk about it for a few minutes. This goes along with, does that mean that you can't do the trending sounds? Absolutely not. You absolutely can mix that in, but a lot of your content should be where you are talking to your people, not just doing reels where you're lip syncing the entire time that have no context to what you're trying to do. So take a specific topic, teach people about something, for that minute. It's not that long. It's a very short amount of time. And so that's where he's seeing reels trending in that direction. So that was kind of like a really, really fast recap of the pretty much hour that we were sitting with him, but it was really, really good. And it was just really cool to see him in person because I've followed him for a long period of time and he was a really humble, awesome guy. So cool stuff. But we're going to get into planning our week now. And if you're new to this Zoom, we go through the days of the week, Monday through Saturday. I leave Sunday open because some people, I think it's important to take a break mentally from social media for a day, or just to have a day of free reign. So I go through Monday through Saturday, Facebook, Instagram, and stories. So for Facebook on Monday, talk about Mondays after a holiday super quick. So Easter is obviously on Sunday. If you follow Easter, if you observe Easter. But a lot of kids might be off and stuff like that too. So just how are you handling a Monday after a holiday? How are you getting maybe back on track with your health after, eating out with your family or whatever? Instagram, we're going to do a reel where you're teaching something. This can be to a trending sound if you like, or this can be you trying the original content and speaking on that reel. Stories, we're going to speak about capsules because Monday capsules, it's just a no-brainer. You can either talk about it, if you want, you can post a picture of it and just discuss it. But there are so many people that struggle on Mondays. And if you're not hitting that the capsules are crucial for a Monday, like every single Monday, you should. Tuesday for Facebook, weekly pay, talk about something small. So if you're not currently earning a paycheck, talk about what you're looking to accomplish with your weekly pay. If you are currently getting a weekly paycheck, don't talk about the giant extravagant things. Talk about the little things like gas or groceries, because those are huge right now for people. Bridging the gap of paying for gas and groceries. It's something that's weighing on people right now. And it's really crucial that we talk about how this is something that can bridge the gap for you. So that can be either you do a live video, that can be a picture of you holding your Lavelle card at a gas pump. That can be you holding the receipt at the grocery store with your card, like whatever that looks like for you. And then just talking about how the gratitude you express for this business being able to help you with that. Instagram video picture with the text. So I'm going to talk about this real quick. He talked about a really smart way, and I don't know how long this will be going on for, but what you do is you take a picture with text. So it can either be a picture of you with text, or you can do like a quote, or the ones that look like you're doing a tweet, and you create that picture and then you screen record it, crop it up so it's just that little thing, and make it 1 second. So then when people are reading that text quote, they're actually watching the video over and over and over and over and over again. And Instagram's like, oh, these people like this. There's lots of views. So then it'll publish it out to more people. So do some sort of video picture with text on Instagram. So screen record for less than a second, or for a second total. Crop it up so that it fits into the feed and post that. Stories, talk about the business. So maybe you can talk about like what was a fear going into the business. You can talk about what it's done for you currently. You can talk about the community, like whatever you want to talk about, but something that's related to the business. If you are not talking about the business and you're exclusively talking about the products, you might miss a person that isn't necessarily super conscious about like their health or whatever, but the business might intrigue them. And how else are you going to build a team if you never talk about the business? So stories, talk about business. Wednesday, Facebook, a problem that was solved with Thrive, a problem that the typical person following you might also have. Was it waking up in the morning? Was it, dedicating time to your family at the end of the day, but you were exhausted? Was it that you struggled with sleeping? Was it that you struggled with like any specific thing that your audience might relate to? And then how Thrive solved that? Now, Again, disclaimer, do not make any medical claims. We want to be compliant. Instagram Reel, you can do a trending song, but make sure that it ties into your niche or a sound, I should say. It doesn't have to be a song. So it can be like, it can be a credibility one. So like for me, a credibility reel would look like showing my before and after. A credibility reel might look like for you, if you're, maybe you were in addiction, what you looked like before and what you looked like after, some sort of thing with a trending sound. Stories, highlight one of the new products. So the new products that were released, obviously Ooey, which I am beyond excited for. I just placed my order. The shipping did come down, in case you were wondering. My shipping yesterday when I placed my order for Ooey was $11.99. I will do that all day, every day. And for me, I'm just going to say why it's so important for me, in case you have people that are in the fitness industry or you are into fitness and that sort of thing. The creatine aspect is huge. So it's like the best pre-workout that you can have, because not only does it contain caffeine, natural caffeine, to give you the energy to get through your workout, and there's some other things that are in there as well that help with boosting stamina and that sort of thing. But the creatine is one of the most widely researched supplements on the face of the earth, and is one of the most beneficial supplements that you can add into working out, because it helps you get through your workouts. It helps you fuel your muscle. It actually improves the look of your muscles. So it's just like one of the best things. And it has the recommended dose that people should take for creatine. And I'm just so excited about it. So that, or there's the Pink Pro with caffeine, which I haven't personally tried Pink Pro yet. Now that there's a caffeine option, I am totally getting it. So, because, mom life, but it has like a really light taste, I've heard. And so does the Ooey. It's a really light taste. It's not like super overwhelming. It doesn't make you like get I don't know how to explain it. When things are like really sour or like typical energy drinks, you like have that feeling right in the back of your, I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't have that. It's a very light, almost like strawberry flavor, super good. And then I've heard also that the Pink Pro is very light and not overwhelming either. Thursday, Facebook, let's do a before and after with hashtag Throwback Thursday and talk about the E60 challenge. So I think the E60 challenge, this is genius marketing, because we used to be known as the 8-week challenge, right? Or not challenge, but the 8-week Thrive experience. Everybody is like 75 hard, blah, blah, blah. For us to do the E60 is huge, because here's the reason why. They have done research, obviously, within our company, and they know that when somebody is thriving for 60 days, not only will they continue to thrive for longer, but it's because they have noticeable differences in the way that they sleep, in the way that their body becomes not so inflamed, aches and discomforts are relieved. Like, they've done research. Basically, they've probably compiled all the people and see like what is the trend of people continuing to be a lifelong thriver or a thriver for a long period of time. And it's that they've ordered 2 consecutive months. So that's why they're doing it this way. Ultimate Thriver eventually will be broken down, and I think they will do mini ones. So that's going to be huge. I don't know when that's going to happen, but this is so big. So like, you can show a before and after of you, somebody else, and say, who wants to do the E60 challenge with me? And somebody might come into you like, what's E60 challenge? E60 challenge is you making the commitment for 60 days to focus on your health with our products. It's super easy. Throw them to the new website. It has it all laid out in there. It's wonderful. I'm so excited about it. Instagram, we're going to do a carousel. So like I showed before, one where you can slide through, and this can be like ways to, or 5 ways, or 5 quotes to help you get through, or whatever, 3 to 5, and just make multiple slides. Stories, explain all 3 steps in a way that relates to the people that are following you. So if you're a mom, explain all 3 steps in a way that moms can understand. If you're somebody that is really into fitness, do that. If you're somebody that is recovering from addiction, explain like how this has helped you, all 3 steps. If you're somebody that is a homeschool mom, like how does it help you get through your day, all 3 steps, and explain it. Break it down in a way that when you're talking to somebody, if there's somebody sitting across from you and they are your niche person that you're trying to talk to, that they would understand. So the way I did this the other day was like, the thought of exercising like exhausted me because I was already tired at the end of the day. And this is why this has helped me so much. So all 3 steps to explain. Friday on Facebook, we're going to do a sample post. I've outlined multiple ways you can do this. You can do a picture and say like you're packing up spring packs or getting ready for summer packs, or you can call them whatever you want. You can do that way. You can do, if I were to send you 3 days, would you give me honest feedback? Like anything that you can do to create a sample post on Facebook. Instagram reel, we're going to do, I have original sound, so that would also be another talking, but if you're trying to ease into that, you can also do a trending sound and just have it relate to your niche. Stories, do a sample poll on Instagram. I absolutely love the new poll feature, because it allows you to do more options than just 2, which is nice. So the way that I usually will frame a poll for samples is I never allow the option to say no. And I will say things like, help me customize it, tell me more, or I have some questions. And then when they can click on it, you can respond to them appropriately. Saturday, Facebook lifestyle post. So what a lifestyle post means is that you are showing how this business fits into your life easily. So that can be you're out doing something and you're able to, answer messages, or you're in your home office with your kids sitting on the floor, or you're on your couch sitting on your laptop, like whatever that looks like, and talk about how you're able to fit this into your lifestyle. Instagram, we're going to do just an inspirational post or a reel, whatever you choose to do. The more reels, the better, I think, because it's the best way for you to have organic reach. But you can do just a quote if you want, or do a reel. Stories, you can do, if you had hits in the sample poll on Friday, show you going to the post office and dropping those off, or you can show yourself packing them up. And then at the end of the day, how Thrive helped you. So this will be recorded, or it is recorded. I tried to get it all jam-packed in a half hour because I like to keep this short because Saturdays are busy for everybody. But next week, we will again be on Saturday. Yay! And then the following week, it'll be May 1st. Oh my gosh, how is that possible? Because I work on Saturday the 30th. So May 1st. So I think what we're going to do for that day is we'll do some goal planning in the beginning, effective goal planning, and then we'll go into planning our week. So I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday, and I will see you next Saturday.